Working hard is not a wealth strategy. It never was. Banks, employers, and big brands all make a profit when you believe that a bigger paycheck equals security. They want you focused on earning more because a person who is busy chasing a higher salary rarely stops to ask why they are keeping so little of it. This isn't about blaming you for bad decisions or a lack of discipline. The financial system you were handed was designed to keep money moving through you, not to you. Consider this: the average person with a high income in America still carries $6,000 in credit card debt. They aren't irresponsible people, they just were never given a structure to follow. The real question you should be asking isn't how do I earn more? The real question is, where does the money go the moment it arrives? The trap most people fall into is spending first and hoping that some money survives until the end of the month. This system gives you a weekly framework, a simple way to divide your money that removes that hope and replaces it with math. It works because it doesn't demand perfect willpower, it runs whether you're feeling motivated or not. The final goal isn't just a big number in a bank account. The goal is having options. It is the power to quit a job you hate, the freedom to pivot your career, and the strength to say no. That is what we are building today. We need to destroy one false belief before we can move forward: the idea that your income equals your wealth. Most people spend their entire lives chasing a higher salary, thinking that once they hit a certain number, they will finally be rich. Your employer measures your value by your salary, but they aren't responsible for your future. They have trained you to focus on the wrong number. You can earn $1 million a year, but if you spend $1,001, you aren't wealthy, you are just a high-speed funnel for cash. Here's a simple way to look at it. Wealth is the gap between what you keep and what you owe. It is not what you earn. To see this in action, let's look at two different people. First, imagine a doctor who earns $180,000 every year. She has a giant house, 2 luxury car payments, and expensive hobbies. Despite that huge paycheck, she only has $400 in her savings account. If her hospital closes, she is in immediate trouble. Now look at a teacher who earns $65,000. He lives in a modest home, drives an older car that he owns fully, and has no credit card debt. Because he has been careful, he has $80,000 growing in his investment accounts. While the doctor looks rich on the outside, the teacher is the one who is actually wealthy. He has the power of time and security on his side, while the doctor is just one missed paycheck away from a disaster. The core principle you must anchor your life to is this: you do not build wealth by earning more, you build it by allocating first. Waiting until the end of the month to see what is left over is a losing game. Wealth is created the very second your paycheck arrives, based on where you tell that money to go. If you wait for the right time to start saving or for your next big raise, you are letting the system win. Real financial power comes from deciding where every dollar lives before you ever have the chance to spend it. Most financial advice fails because it relies on motivation culture. We are told that if we just wanted it more or worked harder, we would be rich. But that is a lie. The truth is that most financial plans fail because they require you to make 30 good decisions every single day. By the time you finish work, your brain is tired. This is called decision fatigue. You have every intention to save your money on Monday, but then Friday happens. You're tired, you're hungry, and suddenly that expensive dinner or a new pair of shoes feels like a reward you deserve. Wealthy people do not have more willpower than you. They simply exercise less choice. They understand that willpower is a battery that runs out, so they don't rely on it to build their future. Instead of trying to be stronger, they use automation. Automation is the secret engine that builds wealth while you are busy living your life. It turns a difficult choice into a one-time setup. If you look at the patterns of high-net-worth individuals, you will notice they don't wait until the end of the month to move money. They set up their accounts so that a portion of their paycheck is transferred to their investments before they ever even see it in their main balance. By the time they log into their bank app to see what they can spend, the wealth-building part is already finished. The big insight here is simple. The goal isn't to build better habits, it's to need fewer of them. You don't need to be a hero every Friday night if the money was already saved on Thursday morning. When you remove the need to choose, you remove the chance to fail. You aren't fighting your own brain anymore. You are using a system that works even when you are tired, bored, or tempted to spend. Now let's look at the actual machine that will build your wealth. We call it the weekly money allocation system. Instead of guessing how much to save, we use a specific ratio, *20/10/60/10*. This formula ensures that every dollar has a job the moment it enters your world. *20% to growth, this is your future self. This money goes into investments and assets that will eventually replace your paycheck. *10% to stability, this is your shield. This builds your emergency fund so that a flat tire or a broken tooth never becomes a financial crisis. 60% to essentials, this covers your needs, your rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, and basic transportation. 10% to enjoyment, this is your guilt-free spending. This is for the coffee, the movies, or the hobbies that make life fun right now. This system works whether you are just starting out or already earning a high salary because the percentages stay the same. Let's look at the math for two different income levels. Category $3,000/month, $7,000/month. Growth 20%, $600, $1,400. Stability 10%, $300, $700 essentials, 60%, $1,800, $4,200 enjoyment, 10%, $300, $700. Most people follow a leftover strategy. They spend on essentials and enjoyment first, hope to save a little for stability, and almost never have anything left for growth. This system flips that approach upside down. We prioritize the asterisk future first asterisk by moving the 20% to growth immediately. We handle asterisk protection second asterisk by filling the stability bucket. Only then do we look at asterisk living third asterisk and pleasure fourth asterisk. By inverting the order, you guarantee that your wealth grows. You aren't saving what is left. You are living on what is left after you have already secured your future. This small shift in the order of operations is the difference between working for money forever and making your money work for you. The growth allocation is the most important part of this entire system, and it is also the most misunderstood. Many people believe that retiring early is about how much money you make, but that is a myth. Early retirement is actually determined by the percentage of your income that you keep. This 20% is the fuel for your freedom. There is one non-negotiable rule: this money must leave your account the same day your paycheck arrives. It must be automated so that it happens before your brain even registers the money as being available to spend. If you see the money in your balance, you will find a way to spend it. If you never see it, you will never miss it. To understand why speed matters more than the amount, look at the time value proof. Person A starts investing $300 a month at age 25. Person B waits until age 35 but tries to catch up by investing $600 a month. Even though person B is putting in twice as much money every month, person A will end up with hundreds of thousands of dollars more. Starting early is a superpower that no amount of extra hard work can ever fully replace. Inside this 20% bucket, we use a tiered structure to keep your money moving in the right direction. Asterisk Tier 1. Emergency adjacent. Asterisk this goes into a high-yield account or money market fund. It is safe and easy to reach if you need it quickly. Tier 2. Index funds. Asterisk this is for long-term growth. You are buying a small piece of the world's most successful companies and letting them compound over decades. Tier 3. Skills investment. Asterisk this often has the highest return. Spending $500 on a certification or a course that increases your yearly salary by $20,000 is a much better investment than any stock you could buy. The closing truth is this: you are not trying to beat the market or get lucky with a single stock. You are building a machine that runs while you sleep. Every dollar you put into this 20% bucket is a tiny worker whose only job is to go out and bring back more dollars for you. Your job is simply to give them the chance to start working as soon as possible. The biggest gap in finance isn't between being smart and being confused. It's the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. You can read every book on wealth, but if you don't execute, your bank account won't change. Intelligence doesn't build wealth, execution does. The only mechanism that guarantees execution every single time is automation. It turns your good intentions into a physical reality that happens without you having to lift a finger. Here is the exact sequence your money should follow the moment your paycheck hits your account. 1. Growth ** 20% is automatically transferred out to your investment account. 2. Stability * 10% is automatically moved to your separate savings or stability account. 3. Governance * the remaining 70% stays in your main account, where the 60% for essentials and 10% for fun govern your daily spending. There is a critical distinction you must understand. Money sitting in a brokerage account is dead money. Simply moving the cash isn't enough. You must ensure that your transfer triggers an actual purchase of an index fund or asset. If the cash is just sitting there in a pile, it isn't growing, it's actually losing value to inflation. Most modern apps allow you to auto-invest, which means the moment your 20% arrives, it is immediately put to work buying pieces of companies. This system also handles your future raises perfectly. This is the income growth principle. Because you are working with percentages rather than fixed dollar amounts, the system captures your success automatically. When you earn more, your 20% growth bucket gets bigger instantly. You don't have to sit down and have a meeting with yourself every time you get a promotion. You don't have to decide to be extra disciplined this year, you just have to earn. The machine takes care of the rest, ensuring that as your career moves up, your wealth moves up even faster. It is time to reframe the way you look at your emergency fund. This isn't just extra savings, it is armor. Most people's financial progress doesn't collapse because of bad spending habits. It collapses because a $1,200 car repair hits a bank account with a zero balance. When that happens, people are forced to use credit cards with high interest or, even worse, sell their investments. This fund isn't sleeping, it is standing guard over your growth. It ensures that you never have to sell your stocks at the worst possible moment just to pay a bill. Your exact target for this bucket should be your monthly essential expenses multiplied by 5 or 6. If it costs you $3,000 a month to live, you want $15,000 to $18,000 in the shield. The best place to keep this money is in a high-yield savings account or a money market fund. It needs to be 3 things: accessible, stable, and earning at least a modest yield so it doesn't lose value to inflation. It shouldn't be in the stock market because you don't want your armor to shrink right when the world gets messy. The psychology of this bucket is just as important as the math. When a bad day happens and you have to spend some of this money, your first priority is to replenish it. Think of it as a 0% interest loan to yourself. You don't view it as a loss, you view it as your system working exactly as it was designed. This fund will not make you rich, but it will stop a bad day from turning into a bad year. It gives you the one thing money is actually for: peace of mind. We have to talk about the silent wealth killer, lifestyle inflation. The pattern is almost always the same. As your income rises, your lifestyle rises to meet it. You get a raise, so you get a nicer apartment. You get a bonus, so you lease a newer car. The result is that your bank balance stays the same and your stress level stays the same, even though you are earning more than ever. You are running faster on a treadmill that never ends. To see this clearly, look at the contrast between two people. One is driving a brand new BMW but only has $400 in savings. The other is driving a used Toyota Camry but is quietly building a massive investment portfolio. The person in the BMW looks successful, but they are actually fragile. The person in the Camry is the one who actually has power. You must define your true essentials and be honest about what is hidden. Essentials are housing, food, basic transport, utilities, and insurance. Everything else is just a want disguised as a need. Let's look at a real-world scenario. If your essentials budget is $4,200 a month, but your rent is $1,800 and your car payment is $600, you have already lost $2,400 before you have even bought a single bag of groceries. This is where you make the precision cuts that change your life. Choosing a reliable used car over a financed new car can save you $30,000 over 5 years. Choosing a modest rent instead of a stretched mortgage gives you the room to breathe. These aren't punishments, they are strategic choices. Every dollar you spend on your appearance, trying to look wealthy to people you don't even like, is a dollar stolen from your future optionality. Optionality is the ability to walk away from a job or start a business on your own terms. Staying under the 60% cap isn't about living a small life. It's about making sure your life is built on a solid foundation of precision rather than a hollow shell of appearances. The biggest reason most financial plans fail isn't a lack of discipline, it is emotional backlash. When you try to live on an extreme restrictive budget, your brain eventually rebels. You spend months being perfect, and then one stressful week leads to a binge spend that wipes out all your hard work. This is why the 10% enjoyment allocation is so critical. It isn't just a reward for being good, it is structural sustainability. We engineer fun into the system so the system can keep running forever. To make this work, keep your enjoyment money in a separate account. This psychological separation is what makes guilt-free spending actually feel good. When you use this specific card to buy a nice dinner or a new video game, you don't have to wonder if you're stealing from your rent or your future. That money was already assigned to make you happy. Here's a small insight: experiences almost always outlast objects. The excitement of buying a new gadget usually fades in about 3 days, but the memory of a weekend trip can last 20 years. If you want to get the most out of your 10%, spend it on things that create stories. Paradoxically, people who plan for enjoyment actually spend less overall. This happens because the impulsive, stress purchases disappear when you know you have a dedicated bucket for the things you truly love. The system is now complete. Your growth asterisk builds your future, your stability asterisk holds the line during a crisis, your essentials asterisk are capped to prevent waste, and your enjoyment asterisk is protected to keep you sane. The final state of this journey is not just a high number in a bank account. It is the ability to say no to a job that treats you poorly. It is the freedom to take a big risk because you have a financial runway to land on. It is the power to work because you choose to, not because you are obligated to. This system doesn't promise fast, it promises inevitable, and inevitable is the only thing worth building.